These women were immortal, and they came here to learn a specific discipline of this earth realm and to embody that energy and to be a pillar within the community for the primordial beings that lived here, to guide them, right? So this is actually the original 13 or 12, 13 disciples, right? From the story in the Bible. The story in the Bible is actually referencing to 13 women. Peace, this is ESAIA Mystic, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I release a new video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the sacred number 13 and its relationship to Black femininity. And the reason I have the hyphens on the term Black is because I believe that the Black people that are racially categorized in the Americas are actually not Black, but they are the indigenous people of the planet, the primordial beings of the planet, and they carry specific DNA that allows them to tap into memories here on this planet that other beings or other bloodlines don't have access to. The term Black is a term that is, the same as the term white, the same as the terms, every racial category you can think of, but Black uniquely gives and usurps our people of our culture, our heritage, our lineage. And a lot of people think that that's not important. It doesn't matter. Race is just a color. Race is blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not one of those people, okay? And for everyone that comes onto this video, watches this video, I respect cultures, I respect backgrounds, I respect bloodlines. And in that, you can go so deep and you can discover so many things about the world. You can discover so many things about this universe. You can discover so many things about this earth that we live on, which is ancient, and it has an experience and an existence that is beyond what we are experiencing now in the modern day times we're living in. Okay, so what I'm getting into today is really how the sacred number 13 relates to all of this, and how the sacred number 13 is actually the key to the earth's and the people on the planet right now, the key to our evolution and consciousness and movement into the new earth. Because I believe we're coming out of a dark age of ignorance, of conditioning, of, toxicity. And now we're moving into an era where we have the ability to tap in to these earth energies. So first off, I want to just start off by saying the number 13, when you go into numerology of the number 13, you'll realize that 1 plus 3 equals 4. So when you bring the number down into its original numerical vibration, it vibrates at the number 4. So the number 4 is the number in numerology that represents integrity. It represents foundation. It represents stability. It represents remembering that to express our soul here in this experience, we have to have a body. We have to be stable. We have to have a foundation to carry out our soul's expression, to carry out our life. And the number 4 in relationship to the number 13 is the earth number, right? It's the beginning of the earth coming into fruition, whereas the number 2 was the beginning of the feminine essence, right? And creativity and partnership, harmony, beauty. The number 4 is another even practical number that represents the more actualized embodiment of that, which is the earth, the beauty of the earth, the trees, the flowers, nature, the animals, all the things that we experience when we come here on a physical standpoint. And majestically, right? Majestically, we see how beautiful this place is. Like there's majesty all around us, the mountains, the nature, the trees. Now, mind you, in some places, it's not like that, and the majesty of an area has been usurped, it has been lost, right? It has succumbed to the dominant vibration of the collective consciousness of the beings of that area, or the vibration of the waters of that area, right? Which would go back to, the number 2, which is the feminine energy, right? So 4 represents the earth's energy. And when you break down the lunar cycles, which governs the waters of the earth, we have 13 lunar cycles in a year. Now, a lot of people want to take the 13 lunar cycles and say that, oh, it's because we have 13 lunar cycles, we also have 13 signs in the zodiac. We also have 13 zodiac signs, or, related to that. And I don't believe that we have 13 zodiac signs. I believe that that is just a way for people to still not have to look at the 13 lunar cycles of the year, because the astrological cycles of a year, right, is different than the actual lunar cycles of a year. The reason for this is because there is an actual story behind every lunar cycle. And for each story, there is a principle, okay? Each story has a principle. So the first story is the first lunar cycle. The second story is the second lunar cycle, and so on and so forth until you get to the 13th lunar cycle. And when you get to the 13th lunar cycle's story and principle, okay, and the stories are based off of actual women who were said to have walked the earth and to have been born from the dust and the soil of the earth herself. And these women were immortal, okay? These women were immortal, and they came here to learn a specific discipline of this earth realm and to embody that energy and to be a pillar within the community for the primordial beings that lived here to guide them, right? So this is actually the original 13 or 12, 13 disciples, right? From the story in the Bible. The story in the Bible is actually referencing to 13 women, not 12 men and then Jesus, okay? It was referencing 13 women that lived on this earth and walked on this earth, and they came to learn specific principles. And when they embodied that principle, when they got to a point where they embodied that principle, that became the energetic blueprint, right, of that lunar cycle, aka the foundation of living here on earth. So the reason that we don't have 12 zodiac signs is because each lunar cycle represents its own principle. And when you get to the 13th lunar cycle, the 13th lunar cycle is not its own principle, but it is every single one of the previous 12 principles merged into one collective consciousness. And that final principle is the principle that ushers us back into the first lunar cycle. So it's not about signs when we get into the lunar cycles. It's not about signs. It's about the principles of the earth. It's not about astrological influences in the skies above. It's about what is going on down here on the earth. And what I need you guys to understand is that people don't want to listen to the core truth of what the earth has to say. And they don't want to hear it because usually 9 times out of 10, it's coming out of a woman's mouth who looks like me or thinks like me or has the senses and consciousness of what it means to know truth. Most people don't want to hear it. They want it to be validated in some kind of book or text or from some expert or from some whoever it is, just not a primordial woman. But that's changing, okay? And the reason why this sacred number is so powerful and so potent now is because the earth is calling out. It's like there's a shift in consciousness for everyone on the planet because there's a shift in the earth's vibration. And so we're all having to line up with that, but specifically for women of a primordial lineage and who have a priestess bloodline, you're going to be affected even more. You're going to be affected even more than everyone else. And there is still so much conditioning around how women should be thinking, who they should be listening to, what they should believe. And majority of the information that a lot of women continue to adhere to and subscribe to is coming out of a man's mouth. It's coming out of a man's mouth who has no relationship with his own primordial mother, right? He has a relationship with her, but he still hasn't gotten to that place where he can trust her. And this is what the vibration of this number, 13, 1 plus 3 equals 4, is all about. It's about trusting again in the primordial intuitive instincts that come forth and communicate to us, this is how to live. This is how you sustain yourself here. This is how you cultivate your soul. This is how you give your soul a safe space to experience life, and not just a safe space, but a thriving space. Okay? 4 is a very grounded number, but it is also a very, very divinely feminine and spiritual number. Okay? When people think of the divine feminine, they're still thinking of, being pretty and prissy and, being able to attract a high value man. That's not everything. Being divinely feminine means that you also have a connection to your source, to your spirituality, to the messages that are being intuited through you, and not in a way that is detached from the earth and has no grounds in reality and makes no sense, but in a way that it does have a ground in reality, that does make sense, that can move you forward in your life in a practical and grounded way. So it's important for Black women to understand this and relate this number again back into the way that they see and understand their femininity, because this is the number that is your femininity. This is you. Every single woman in each lunar cycle is an aspect of you that you have an ability to tap into, to move through, right? To move forward with and integrate those lessons into your being. The reason that I was able to come to a lot of the conclusions that I have about this number 13 and have the epiphanies that I've had about how it links to the divine feminine and the earth's frequency has a lot to do with a book that I read a few years ago. It was recommended to me by a friend, and I want to let you guys know that I will be giving you guys access to this exact book. I will be telling you guys what this exact book is for my 3-month winter intensive. Now, what you can do to be a part of the 3-month winter intensive is you can sign up and pre-enroll into the Earth Feminine, where you will have access to all of my courses: the Lilith Code, the Love Potion, the New Love Manifesto, and the Power of the Moon, as well as Sacred Masculinity and learning how to integrate sacred masculinity into your life as a feminine woman. So all of that's going to be included in the Earth Feminine. So right now you can expect to be able to access the Lilith Code, the Love Potion, the New Love Manifesto, and all of everything that I explained in the next 2 to 3 months. And then when the winter comes, we will be starting our 3-month intensive for the winter season. And the winter season is just always has this really good vibration for really connecting, you know, and I love that about winter. So it's gonna be the perfect time, I think, to connect with you ladies and really learn more about your divine feminine energy, your divine feminine power. So if you want to be a part of that, the link is down below. Enroll into the Sacred Soul Academy through the Earth Feminine, and you can get access to everything. Or if you just want to enroll in one of the courses, then that's fine as well. You can do that. But to have access to the 3-month intensive, you do have to enroll with the Earth Feminine bundle. Okay, my loves, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up once again, and I appreciate you all for watching this video, subscribing, and commenting down below. And I will see you all in my next video. Peace.